Shabbat Shalom, family. Glory and honor to our Father Yahweh, the creator of heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, the Most High and the Father of Messiah, Yahweh Shai, who is the Holy One sent from the Father by his Spirit to redeem Israel and through Israel to redeem the earth. Glory and honor to Father Yahweh. Glory and honor to Messiah Yahweh Shai. Greetings to Israel, the 12 tribes scattered into the four corners of the earth, as the Bible has shown us, and are now awakening, the remnant of whom are now awakening to the Father's perfect righteousness, to his Spirit, to be brought into obedience of his commandments and into the faith of Messiah. Greetings. Greetings to the 12 tribes and greetings to the 144,000 who are among them as the forerunners of the kingdom of Messiah, the forerunners of the regeneration, the forerunners of the messianic kingdom, now calling people out of the worship of Babylon. Greetings. Greetings to the precious ones among the children of Shem, Ham, and Japheth, who are not of the bloodline, but are of the blood of Messiah, and through faith in his blood and in the Father's righteousness, have been joined with Israel. Greetings. Greetings to the chat. Isha Shama, Ricky Boyd, Yafi, Castle King. Listen to your body. Daniel's family, Only One Way. Brother Diamond Holdings, Amanda Prakash. Brother Brandon Beckman, Gary Joseph, Superstar, Brother Wade, Sister Azariah, Yisrael, Ikaya Francis, J House, Sister Wade. Greetings. Akawambanya, greetings. By the way, Sister Isha Shama, if you could please tell Brother Frankie, I put the closed captioning on every video. I don't know why YouTube is blocking that now. Can you please tell him that, so that when he can, just because he tells me, there's nothing I could do about it. I just want him to know that it's on every video. I don't forget to put it on. It's on. It's just that for some reason, YouTube blocks it now. I don't know if there's some problem with them technically. Maybe I got to reach out to them and find out. But at this point, I don't know what else to do, because I have indeed put the closed captioning on every video. Just to let him know that. So, yeah, I don't know why it does that. Some videos do and some don't. I'm noticing the Knicks videos do, but the Bible study videos do not. That I don't understand, but I kind of do understand, but we'll find out. I'll try to reach out to somebody at YouTube and see if there's anything that can be done about that. Okay, so we are in the end of the book of Revelation. No, we're in the end of the book of Revelation, and we're in chapter 20, and there's a couple of things we're going to go through here. The second resurrection, which we started last week. But as you can see from the title of the video, we're going to talk about the most important book of all. Now, on the earth right now, for us, this is the most important book of all on the earth right now for us. This gives us the instructions. It guides us by the Father's Spirit. It directs our paths in prophecy. This is the most important book of all. But there's one even more important that's above the earth. That is the book of life. And Revelation 20 mentions the book of life, and we're going to discuss the book of life from the word of the Most High tonight by the grace of the Father. Yeah. First, let's look at the second resurrection. I want to look at 2 Peter as one of the witnesses of the second resurrection. 2 Peter, the Kapha, the apostle, one of the apostles to the Hebrews, Kapha, otherwise known as Peter. And let's look at 2 Peter and look at chapter 3. 2 Peter chapter 3. And I'm going to read 2 Peter chapter 3. Let's see. Let's start at verse 3. And he'll talk about the second resurrection here. But let's start at verse 3. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. For this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of Yahweh the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water, whereby the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perished. But the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. But, beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the master as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day. The master is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. But the day of Yahweh will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away in a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of Yahweh, wherein the heavens being on fire, shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. Wherefore, beloved, seeing that ye look for such things, be diligent that ye may be found of him in peace, without spot and blameless. And account that the long suffering of Yahweh is salvation, even as our beloved brother Paul, also according to the wisdom given unto him, hath written unto you, as also in all his epistles, speaking in them of these things, on which are some things hard to be understood, and which they that are unlearned and unstable rest, as they do also other scriptures, unto their own destruction. Ye therefore, beloved, seeing ye know these things, beware lest ye also be led away with error of the wicked, fall from your own steadfastness, but grow in grace and in the knowledge of the Master and the Savior, Yahweh Shai, Mashiach. To him be glory both now and forever. Amen. So he talks about fire. He talks about heaven and earth being melted. And as we know in Revelation chapter 20, which we will read from the second resurrection, Revelation chapter 20, he stops and talks about the first resurrection first in chapter 20. As we know, it's a continuation of chapter 19. And let's start at verse 5, and then go from verse 5 down to verse 10. But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection. On such the second death hath no power, but they shall be priests of Yahweh and of Messiah, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. And they went up on the breadth of the earth, and compassed the camp of the saints about, and the beloved city. And fire came down from Yahweh out of heaven and devoured them. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. So you can see fire, again mentioned, as 2 Peter mentioned, fire shall melt the elements, he said, the heavens and the earth, and there'll be a new heaven and a new earth. Now, we know that we will not be affected by the fire. Again, in this same chapter, Blessed and holy, verse 6, is he that hath part in the first resurrection. On such the second death hath no power. And we saw the three Hebrew men that were thrown into Nebuchadnezzar's fiery furnace, and they made note that on them the fire had no power. So that in the second resurrection, the fire is only destroying that which is touched with sin. It's only destroying that which has been touched with sin, atmosphere with sin. It's destroying. And so all of those people that have been resurrected, that have at that point walked the earth, have defiled the earth just with them walking on. And now Satan going forth, the prince of the power of the air, defiles the air and the earth, deceiving them. And so all of it is going to be melted and destroyed. But it will not affect us. It will not affect the city. It will not affect anything that is set apart and holy for the Father and made by the Father. That makes sense, y'all? Hey, Ya Kaya. Ya Kaya. Shalom. So, okay, so those two witnesses. Let's keep going so we can get some more. So second, let's go to Gospel of John. Gospel of John. Gospel of John. And then we're going to go back to Ezekiel chapter 38. We did chapter 39. We're going to go to Ezekiel chapter 38. Okay, so Gospel of John chapter 5. Gospel of John chapter 5. I love how John shows very clearly the relationship between our Father and the Messiah. And if you understand that relationship, you will not be deceived in some of the false doctrines of Christianity that want to worship Messiah as if he is just the Most High. He is the representation of his Father. And he taught us to pray. And what were the first words in what he taught his disciples to pray? He said, pray like this. What were the first words he said? He said, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. He said, disciples said, teach us to pray. And he said, okay, this is how you pray. Our Father. And then he said, pray to your Father, because your Father himself loveth you. I go to the Father and pray to your Father. He said, don't be like the hypocrites. Go into your closet when you have shut your door, Matthew says, pray to your Father who is in secret. And your Father which seeth in secret shall reward you openly. Yah is a spirit, a ruach. Pneumonia is almost like pneumonia in Greek, like a wind. He comes to us in the spirit and we pray to him in the spirit, but he hears us and he sees us because he's in the spirit. It's his spirit. See, praise the Most High. In the Hebrew, it's ruach, wind, breath. Praise the Most High. But it's the holy one, breath, or it's in the Greek it's called the sacred wind, or the holy wind, right? And in the Hebrew, it's the ruach kadash, the set apart wind. Praise the Most High. So it's different from just the wind of the earth or the wind in our lungs, that we have that, but it's the set apart wind. It's the sacred wind. It's the breath of life wind. That's right. Praise the Most High. So now let's get our second. No, this will be our third witness. Third witness, Gospel of John, chapter 5. I'm going to start at verse 17. And I'm going to go from verse 17 to verse 29. Actually, no. I'm going to start at verse 19 and go to verse 30. Yes, from verse 19 to verse 30. Gospel of John from chapter 5, from verse 19 to verse 30. Gospel of John, chapter 5, from verse 19 to verse 30. Then answered Yahushua and said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, the Son can do nothing of himself, but what he seeth the Father do. For what things soever he doeth, these also doth the Son likewise. For the Father loveth the Son, and showeth him all things that himself doeth. And he will show him greater works than these, that ye may marvel. For as the Father raises up the dead and quickeneth them, even so the Son quickeneth whom he will. For the Father judges no man, but hath committed all judgment unto the Son, that all men should honor the Son, even as they honor the Father. He that honoreth not the Son honoreth not the Father which hath sent him. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that heareth my words and believeth on him that sent me hath everlasting life, and shall not come into condemnation, but is passed from death unto life. Verily, verily, I say unto you, the hour is coming, and now is, when the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of Yahweh, and they that hear shall live. For as the Father hath life in himself, so hath he given to the Son to have life in himself, and hath given him authority to execute judgment also, because he is the Son of Man. Marvel not at this, for the hour is coming in which all that are in the graves shall hear his voice, and shall come forth. They that have done good unto the resurrection of life, they that have done evil unto the resurrection of damnation. I can of my own self do nothing. As I hear, I judge, and my judgment is just, because I seek not mine own will, but the will of the Father which hath sent me. Praise the Most High. Brethren, Messiah is our example in everything. And primarily, he is divinity and humanity, the Son of Yahweh and the Son of Man. And he came to the earth as a man wrapped in divinity, that he can make us partakers of divinity, that we can become holy men of the Most High and filled with his breath of his set apart, holy, sacred spirit. So he is our example. The Father set him forth, and his sacrifice for us will allow us to become like him. Praise the Most High. Okay, so that's third witness. Let's go to fourth witness. Well, yeah, fourth witness, Daniel. Daniel chapter 12. Daniel chapter 12. Now, Daniel, I like to point out that Daniel chapter 11 begins the time of trouble, which is the time associated with the mark of the beast and the warning from the Most High in Revelation 13 and 14, and Revelation 18 also, as we know. And Daniel chapter 11, verse 44, sums all that up in one verse. And you'll see it. And then following it, you see the events that follow. So the message of the 144,000 is actually outlined in Daniel chapter 11, verse 44. It's actually outlined in Daniel 11:44. And then what happens next, you see in the rest of it. Okay. And there's not much left, as you can see after that. So Daniel, let's start at Daniel 11:44. And let's go down from Daniel 11:44 down to Daniel 12:2. So from Daniel 11:44 down to Daniel 12:2. Okay. Actually, let's go to verse 3, 12:3. But tidings out of the east and out of the north shall trouble him. Therefore he shall go forth with great fury to destroy and utterly to make away many. Tidings out of the east and north, those are the directions of the Messiah and the Father. And tidings is a message from the Father and from Messiah, shall cause the king of the north, which is the beast, to go forth with great fury, make him very angry. And he'll want to destroy, which means he is causing the lamb-like beast to make an image. Whoever would not worship the image should be killed. And then there's a message given: whoever worships the beast in his image is going to receive the wrath of Father Yah. That's all in Daniel 11:44. I know, isn't that amazing? Isn't it? It's right. And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. We are the remnant of the seed of the woman. The seed of the woman is the 12 tribes of Israel in Messiah. And we are the seed. Praise the Most High. Now, what happens after that? Watch. Verse 45. And he that is the king of the north shall plant the tabernacles, the home of his palace, between the seas in the glorious holy mountain. Yet he shall come to his end, and none shall help him. What's going to happen next? What is that telling us, brother? Where is the glorious holy mountain? And what is a tabernacle? He shall plant the tabernacles of his palace. What's that? Where is that? Where is the glorious holy mountain? Where is it? Did somebody say it and I missed it? Did somebody see it? No, nobody said it yet. Where is the glorious holy mountain? He said he shall plant. That is, the king of north shall plant the tabernacles of his. That's right. It's the state of Israel. It's in Jerusalem. And he's going to plant the tabernacles of his palace there. Now, we already know that the king of the north is represented as the Vatican. And he has 3 man-made religions that he rules over, that are the top religions in his kingdom. 3, right? What do we have? Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. Well, let me ask you all a question, brethren. Are those 3 religions the major religions in Jerusalem right now? Are those the major 3 religions in Jerusalem? I mean, is Jerusalem overrun with Buddhists or Hindus? No, that's right. It's those 3, and they are represented the palace, the tabernacles of his palace. And actually, the Pope does literally have a palace in Jerusalem. And you can look that up for yourself. Aside from the Vatican, he's got a palace in Jerusalem. Okay, so that's fulfilled. Okay, wait a minute. We're talking about second resurrection, right? So we still have Daniel 12, 1 and 2 and 3. Notice what it says. And at that time, the time that he plants his tabernacles between the seas, the time that the message that bothers him, that causes him to go forth with great fury, goes out, and he plants the tabernacle of his palace between the seas. That is why some people, have you all heard that, they're trying to, first Donald Trump was saying he's trying to make Jerusalem the capital of Israel. Right now it's Tel Aviv. He wants to make it Jerusalem. And then they want to reinstitute animal sacrifices in Jerusalem. Did y'all hear that, or did I just make that up? Is that out there? Did y'all hear that part? That they want to reinstitute animal sacrifices in Jerusalem. And Donald Trump said that Jerusalem should be the capital of Israel. And he got the whole Christian right wanting that. Remember, the United States is the lamb-like beast that does everything it does in the sight of the beast. Okay, so you can see it all coming together here. So we know the order of things now. First thing is, we receive the holy Ruach. We receive the breath, the sacred breath of the Father of perfect righteousness in us. We receive that, and he seals us. And that sealing gives us power to bear witness, which Revelation 14 and Revelation 18 bears witness, does it not? It bears witness of what's going to come. And so the witness is with power. And that's what makes the difference. It's not just the words on the page. It's the power of the Spirit behind the words. And when that comes, as we see it, he's going to be very angry. He's going to want to kill us. And then at that time, he's going to set and establish what we're already seeing happening in the state of Israel. And at that time, verse 1 of Revelation 12, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. See, when he says children of thy people. You got to remember who's talking and who's being talked to. Who's talking here and who's being talked to. When you're reading Daniel 11 and 12, you are listening or you are reading the words of Gabriel as he's talking to Daniel. Gabriel is giving this information to Daniel, just like we see in Revelation 1, verse 1. So the Father gave the Messiah a message. The Messiah gave the message to Gabriel, and Gabriel has come to give it to Daniel. And Daniel, the book of Daniel, is bearing witness of the message. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So notice what it says. At that time, Gabriel is talking here. Gabriel is talking to Daniel. At that time, he tells Daniel, shall Michael or Mikael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. He's telling Daniel that there's a great prince that stands for the children of Daniel's people. Okay. Who's Daniel's people? Daniel's people are the 12 tribes of Israel. And he's telling Daniel, this is future, this is prophecy. He's telling Daniel that there's a great prince that stands on behalf, that's what it's saying, of your people, the children of your people. Well, brethren, let me ask you first quiz question. I guess this would be the second quiz question. Second quiz question of the night. Who are the children of Daniel's people? Who are the children of Daniel's people? Who is that? You know where you can find them? You know where you can find them? Most of y'all? You know where you can find them? Look in the mirror. You know where you can find them? Go to the bathroom and look in the mirror. There he is. That's right. It's us. We are the children of Daniel's people. Praise the Most High. Okay. He stands up for the children of thy people. There you go. All right. And there shall be at that time a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time, thy people, Daniel, shall be delivered. Everyone that shall be found written in the book. He's mentioning a book. He says the people found written in the book shall be delivered. Okay? So, and we're going to come back to the book part. But now he's saying there's going to be a time of trouble such as never was. What's that? That means they're going to try to kill us. They're going to want to kill us, but we're going to be delivered. Okay, that's right, the book of life. Now we're going to be delivered. Now we know the deliverance takes place and we end up standing somewhere when we're delivered. Right? We already saw it in Revelation, but here's another quiz question. So when we're delivered, it says, thy people shall be delivered. Everyone found written in the book. That's right. We end up delivered to the sea of glass. That's correct. Praise the Most High. Y'all are some smart people. The Most High really blessed y'all. Praise the Most High. So you can see the whole game. And it's interesting what we read in multiple chapters of the Bible, and especially Revelation, is given in what they call a synopsis from Daniel 11:44 to Daniel 12:3. Isn't that something? Praise the Most High. Okay. Everyone that's written in the book. Okay, verse 2. And many of them, we're here for the second resurrection, right? So many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life. Messiah said, they that have done good to the resurrection of life, some to everlasting contempt. They that have done evil to the resurrection of damnation. And as we read in Revelation chapter 20, blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection. On such, the second death has no power. Right? Okay. Verse 3. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. This is deeper than most people understand. First of all, Here's some more quiz questions. I can give you all quiz questions, and I like giving them because I know y'all are reading and y'all are answering the right, y'all give me the Bible answers. So praise the Most High. So, question. Revelation chapter 1. I'm even going to give you the chapter. Revelation chapter 1. The Messiah had 7 stars in his right hand. What did the 7 stars represent? Messiah had 7 stars in his right hand. John said, I see 7 stars in his right hand. What's the stars represent? Nope. Don't guess. Go back, look at it. Nope. Go back, look at it. The 7 candlesticks are the 7 churches. Right, Manny? The 7 candlesticks are the 7 churches. But what about those stars in his right hand? What he was told that he told John. No. Why y'all guessing? Why don't you just go and look at it? It's Revelation chapter 1. Go look at it. Look at it. Just go look at it. Revelation chapter 1. So I give you the verse 2. You want me to give you the verse 2? Come on, man. Y'all passed milk. Y'all ready for meat now. I'm not giving you. Thank you, Sister Daniel. You see what Sister Daniel said? The 7 stars are the angels of the 7 churches. The 7 candlesticks are the 7 churches. Let me make sure y'all got that. Let me give you the scripture so you don't think I'm making that up. I am not making that up. It's right there in Revelation chapter 1. I want to show you Revelation chapter 1. Revelation chapter 1, verse 20. Revelation chapter 1, verse 20. The mystery of the 7 stars, which thou sawest in my right hand, and the 7 golden candlesticks. The 7 stars are the angels of the 7 churches. And the 7 candlesticks, which thou sawest, are the 7 churches. Okay. My point being that the messengers to the assemblies are the angels. And we also know Father gives to Messiah, Messiah gives to the angel, and the angel gives to John, right? So the messengers are the stars. So angels are represented as stars. Also, we know that the great red dragon, his tail drew a third part of the stars of heaven, right? But the Bible says we shall be as the angels. So that's why in Daniel chapter 12, verse 3, it says, they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars. And why? Because, brothers and sisters, if we are receiving Father's righteousness and his spirit, and we are used to bear witness, as he said, we are his witnesses, and as we use to bear witness to the earth, to the people that are in Babylon, we become like the angels that bore witness to us. We become, another word for an angel is a messenger. The messenger of the covenant is the same as the angel of the covenant. So we who receive of the abundance of righteousness from the Father, and we are used by the Father. He's not giving us his spirit, his holy rock, the breath, the sacred breath. He's not giving us that for us to just do tricks. He's given us that for us to bear witness of him. And as we bear witness, it says right here, they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that do what? Turn many to righteousness. That's what the witness does. The witness turns people to righteousness. They that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. Isn't that powerful, man? Isn't that beautiful? So then again, we have right here, second resurrection. They give us both of them right there. Okay. All right. Now, Ezekiel chapter 38. Ezekiel chapter 38. And we started already, but let's go. This is the second. Remember now, we went through Ezekiel 39 and we saw the first resurrection. Now we go to Ezekiel 38 and we see the second resurrection. We started it the other day. I just want to go through it. And, we highlighted it. Of course, we know. I'm not going to go back again over Gog and Magog. Y'all know who Gog and Magog is. And for those of you listening to this video or watching this video who don't know what Gog and Magog is, look at the previous video. The previous video. Look at the video of Revelation 19, which is in this series. It's on YouTube. It's in Raw Hebrew Remnant channel. Go look at the live. You'll look at Revelation series. It'll be there. And when you see it, look at Revelation 19. It explains, as some of y'all could bear witness, in great detail, right, who Gog and Magog is. So go and look at that. It's based in I will give you a hint. It's based in Genesis 10. So we don't have to go through that tonight. Okay, we already did that. We got other stuff to cover. So now let's go to Ezekiel chapter 38. Ezekiel 38, and let's start at verse 1 and go down to verse 8. Ezekiel 38, 1 to 8. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Most High Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them, clothed with all sorts of armor, even great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them shield and helmet. Gomer, all his bands, the house of Togarmah in the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. After many days, second resurrection, after many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come up into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people, against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste, but is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. Okay, wait a minute. I want you to notice something here. I want you to notice how the Bible says they have weapons. You just catch that? So they have weapons. He says all of them bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. They have weapons, shield and helmet, and they got bands. And he says, "Be thou prepared and prepare thyself." Okay, so what's going to happen, brethren, is once they are resurrected, there's going to be a period of time. It doesn't say how much time, but there's going to be a period of time for them to prepare. Once they're resurrected, and they're going to have Asatan and a third of the fallen angels. They're all going to be putting all of their power, all of their might, all of their ancient wisdom to create the weapons. Now, how long it's going to take, I don't know. It's not going to be no 1,000 years or anything like that, but it could take a few years. Now, to us that are alive in the first resurrection, it's going to be a short time regardless, right? Because we're eternal. At that point, we are eternal. But they will be digging into the earth. They'll be making weapons. They'll be developing things. They'll be mining and doing all the stuff they need to do to build their weaponry to come against us. See, he says, prepare, be thou prepared, and prepare thyself, thou and all that company that is assembled unto thee. Be thou a guard unto them. So they're going to be trying their best to prepare. And they're going to have all of Asatan's angels as their elders. They're going to have all of, and what is Asatan going to look like? The Bible tells us he's going to appear as an angel of light. So he's going to appear as an angel, the dazzling angel of light, and all of his angels that are fallen are going to be dazzling angels of light, and they're going to be full of power, and they're going to convince the people by their spirit that they can take that city. And they're going to do everything they can to prepare. See? So I don't know how long the period is, and I don't want to guess because I haven't seen it. But there is going to be a period of preparation where they're going to be getting ready to attack. They're going to outnumber us by far. First resurrection, sister. First resurrection. Remember, he's placed into the bottomless pit and he's locked up. Yeah. First resurrection. That's Isaiah chapter 14, as you know. Isaiah 14. Yeah. First resurrection. Yeah. So, but when he comes back, and that's a good question. She asked, when is he going to be? Because Isaiah 14, let's look at that real quick, because she brought up a good point. Let's look at Isaiah 14 real quick. Isaiah 14. Once he is brought down, once he is cast down, and this is Isaiah chapter 14. And I'm going to start at verse 14, where he says he's going to be like the Most High, right? And in Isaiah 14:14, and I'm going to go down and look at from 14 to 16. Actually, from 14 to 17. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble and did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? See, that's first resurrection. And then he's placed into the bottomless pit. He can't do anything, him and his angels, for 1,000 years. Done, right? They placed in that grave. Now, when they are resurrected, that is when he is loose out of the pit. Well, yes, he will, apparently, right? Is this the man? They said, right? He's an angel. Angel looks similar to us, but they're obviously more powerful. So they're going to look at him and see, man, he's the one that did all this. And he's going to be placed in the pit. Okay. And then when he's brought out of the pit and there's a resurrection, all of the dead that are resurrected will not see him as he looked in the pit. You get me? So we who are redeemed in the first resurrection, we're going to see him for what he is, and we're going to say, just what is it? Man, is that him? He caused all this trouble? But when the second resurrection comes, the people that are resurrected are going to see an angel of light, an angel of dazzling brightness, and all of his imps with him. Dazzling brightness and power. That's what they're going to see. That's right. They didn't see him as we saw him. Which, brethren, ironic as it is, isn't that the way it is now? They don't see him as we see him. They don't recognize him as we do. They don't know Messiah or recognize him as we do. I guess nothing will change. Because in the first resurrection, we will recognize Messiah. We're going to see this is our God. We have waited for him. He will save us. The wicked will be scared of him. Our Satan will be placed in a pit. At the end of 1,000 years, they're going to be resurrected. And they won't see him as we saw him in the pit. They're going to see a dazzling angel of brightness. And we're going to know he's deceiving them, but they won't. They're going to think that he is the Messiah. That's what they're going to think. That's what he's going to make them think. And then they're going to prepare. He's going to use all of his powers that we don't even know about, powers of dimensions we don't understand. He's going to use all of those powers. But by the time he is brought out of that pit and the resurrection, second will happen, we will be of that power ourselves after 1,000 years. We're not worried about them. But he's going to be brought forth, and all of the wicked going to be brought up, and they're not going to have no power. He's going to spend his time fixing them up, developing them, schooling them, training them. They're going to be building weapons, and they're going to do all that for one last shot at the tree of life. Okay? Praise the Most High. Thank you for bringing that up, Sister uh, Sister Daniels. Appreciate it. Yep, that's right. That's right. So we'll be in what does Paul call it? He calls it celestial flesh. They'll be in earthly flesh. See, he says there's celestial. Remember, he said there's earthly and there's heavenly. We'll be in a celestial being. They'll be in a terrestrial being, an earthly being. See, so yeah, we're not worried about them. And then we would have grown and developed over 1,000 years. That's right. We'll be in glorified bodies. We will not be like them. They're going to come up looking like we look now. We're not. We're going to be different. Okay. So when they come up, they're going to see this angel of light. They're going to see us and the angels that fell with him, and they're going to school them. We could take this city. This city belongs to us. And you know, it's Gog and Magog, and they're used to discovering places. So they're going to say, we're going to discover the tree of life. We're going to go on an expedition. We're going to discover the tree of life. And they're used to doing that. It's fact, Ezekiel chapter 38. Let's go back there. Ezekiel 38. And just like Revelation 20, notice the descriptive language of how they're going to come. The same thing it says in Revelation chapter 20 here in Ezekiel 38, verse 9. I'm going to start at verse 9 and read from verse 9 down to verse 15. And watch the questions being posed to them by the redeemed. Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land. Thou and all thy bands and many people with thee. Bible says in Revelation 20, they're like the sand of the sea. They cover the whole breadth of the earth. Thus saith the Most High Yahweh, it shall come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates, to take a spoil, to take a prey, to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods, that dwell in the midst of the land. Sheba and Dedan, and the merchants of Tarshish, with the young lions thereof, shall say unto thee, art thou come to take a spoil? Hast thou gathered thy company to take a prey, to carry away silver and gold, to take away cattle and goods, to take a great spoil? Therefore, son of man, prophesy and say unto God, thus saith the Most High Yahweh, in that day when my people Israel dwelleth safely, shalt thou not know it? And thou shalt come from thy place out of the north parts, thou and all many people with thee, all of them riding upon horses, a great company and a mighty army. And thou shalt come up against my people of Israel as the cloud to cover the land. It shall be in the latter days, and I will bring thee against my land, that the heathen may know me, when I shall be sanctified in thee, O Gog, before their eyes. Oh, yes. They're going to know who the true God is. You see, Asatan's going to tell them that he's the Messiah. He's the Father. He's the Most High. And his angels are the holy ones. And they're going to be deceived by that. And the Father's going to show them once and for all. There's only one God. And he's about to show them who he is. He said, look, I'm going to show you when I'm sanctified in you before their eyes. Verse 17, thus saith the Most High Yahweh, art thou he of whom I have spoken in old time by my servants, the prophets of Israel, which prophesied in those days many years that I would bring thee against them? And it shall come to pass at the same time when God shall come against the land of Israel, saith the Most High Yahweh, that my fury shall come up in my face. Oh no, you done messed up now. For in my jealousy and in the wrath, a fire of my wrath, have I spoken. Surely in that day there shall be a great shaking in the land of Israel, so that the fishes of the sea and the fowls of the air and the beasts of the field and all creeping things that creep upon the earth and all the men that are come upon the face of the earth shall shake at my presence. And the mountain shall be thrown down, and the steep places shall fall, and every wall shall fall to the ground. And I will call for a sword against them throughout all my mountains, saith the Most High Yahweh. Every man's sword shall be against his brother. And I will plead against him with pestilence and with blood. And I will rain upon him and upon his bands and upon many people that are with him, and overflowing rain and great hailstones, fire and brimstone. And I will magnify myself and sanctify myself, and I will be known in the eyes of many nations. And they shall know that I am Yahweh. Praise the Most High. See, praise the Most High. Okay, so we can see the second resurrection. Let's go back now. Revelation chapter 20. Revelation chapter 20. And let's start now with verse 10. And let's go down from verse 10 down to verse 12. This is Revelation chapter 20 from verse 10 to verse, actually, I'm going to start at verse 9. From verse 9 to verse 12. Revelation chapter 20 from verse 9 to verse 12. And they went up on the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about in the beloved city. And fire came down from Yahweh out of heaven and devoured them. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are. It shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before Yahweh, and the books were opened. And another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works. So what does that tell you? That every person has a book of all your works written. Messiah said, every idle word that men shall speak, he shall give an account thereof in the day of judgment. Paul wrote also, he said there in, I think it was 1 Corinthians chapter 4. Yep, 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 5. Therefore judge nothing before the time until the master come, who will both bring to light the hidden things of darkness and will make manifest the counsels of the hearts. And then shall every man have praise of Yahweh. So not only will every word be spoken, the motive behind every action will be recorded. So every motive of every action and every word and every deed is written. And those books will be open, faithfully recorded. Everything. There'll be no more secrets. All secrets will be out. There's only going to be one secret. You know what the secret is? The secret's going to be all the sins we committed. That's going to be wiped out. Your sins will be blotted out, so that when your book is cracked open, they will see no sin. They're going to only see righteousness. Because in place of your sin is the perfect righteousness and divine human that is Messiah, that comes from the Heavenly Father. So when you open yours, you're not going to recognize it. Not as you, but those who are unrepentant. And that's the key here. The unrepentant ones will not have had anything wiped away. The unrepentant ones will see everything they've done right there. It'll be judgment time. Okay? There'll be no secrets. Nobody can lie that day. Nobody can lie that day. Imagine that. You won't be able to lie. That ability will be taken away in the judgment. You'll have to speak the truth because it's written right there. Praise the Most High. Okay. Well, talking about books. Talking about books. Exodus. Exodus chapter 33. Exodus chapter 33. I believe is that what I want? Exodus 33. Actually, Exodus 32. Exodus 32. Going to begin at verse 30 and go down to verse 35. This is Exodus chapter 32, from verse 30 to verse 35. So this is Moses' witness. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses said unto the people, Ye have sinned a great sin. And now I will go up unto Yahweh. Peradventure, I shall make an atonement for your sin. Moses is playing a role here. What role is Moses playing here? When he tells the people that have done a great sin, I'm going to try to make an atonement for your sin. What role is Moses playing? What is he trying to do here? When he says he's going to make it, that's right. He is trying to play the role of Messiah. Well, it's not because he's puffing himself up. It's because he loves the people so much. He's willing to sacrifice himself for the people. It's like Fred Hampton said, live for the people and you die for the people. And Fred Hampton wasn't the Messiah either. But Moses loved the people so much, he was willing to give up his own life. And as you'll see, eternal life for them. That's why the song is called the Song of Moses and the Lamb. He was willing to give up his life for them. Even though he had done nothing wrong. He was with the Father in the mountain. He was in the eternal glory. He wasn't down there worshiping no golden calf, yet he counted himself as their brother. And he said, I'll give myself up for them. And that's exactly what Messiah did. The difference is Moses was pure humanity covered with the Spirit. Messiah was divinity with humanity. So as only Messiah could do it. But Moses was willing to do it and was serious about it. Notice Exodus 32 from verse 31 to 35. And Moses returned unto Yahweh and said, Oh, this people have sinned a great sin and have made them gods of gold. Yet now, if thou wilt forgive their sin, and notice there is a hesitation. One of the few places, if not the only place in the Bible, this exists, where there's a hesitation. It's like Moses had to really think about what he was about to say. Hey, isn't that what the Messiah said? Listen, if it's possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt. If he didn't say those last words, we'd all be finished. You know that, right? Let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will. That's right. So let's read that now. Yet now, if thou wilt forgive their sin, and if not, blot me, I pray thee, out of thy book which thou hast written. Blot me out of thy book which thou hast written. Moses is requesting that his name be blotted out of a particular book that the Father has written. The Father wrote this book. It's not man wrote this book. And he said, blot, and apparently there's names in that book that the Father has written. And Moses said, my name is in that book, but if you can not forgive their sins, blot me out the book. Very powerful, man. Powerful, powerful, powerful. So that book, we can safely assume, written by the Father, has Moses' name in it, is the book of life. Testing 1, 2, 3. We got that? Therefore, now go and then the Father say to Moses, and Yahweh said to Moses, whosoever have sinned against me, him will I blot out of my book. Therefore, now go lead the people into the place that I have spoken unto thee. Behold, mine angel shall go before thee. Nevertheless, in the day when I visit, I will visit their sin upon them. And Yahweh plagued the people because they made a calf which Aaron made. Yes. Okay. So the book of life was first witnessed by Moses, right? Moses wrote about it, talked about himself being blotted out of it. So there's a book, one book. The Father wrote this book. Okay. Now, just like you guys know that there are only 3 appointed feasts, right? We have studied that many times. They're not 10 feasts. They're not 7 feasts. There's not 8 feasts. There's 3 appointed feasts that the Father gave to the chosen people. 3. Now, even though there's only 3, we have noticed that they are called by different names. So the Passover is also the Feast of Unleavened Bread. It's the same feast. Okay? The Feast of Weeks is also Pentecost. Right? Or the Feast of the First Fruits. The Feast of the Tabernacles is also called the Feast of the Ingathering. Same feast. Why do I bring that up? Well, guess what? The Father's book can go by different names. Let's go to Zechariah, or is it Malachi? Well, I'll tell you right now. Hold on. I'll tell you right now which one it is. Yes, it's Malachi. And we know Malachi is the book of the Levites. But anyway, Malachi chapter 3. I'm going to begin at verse 16 and go down to verse 18. Malachi chapter 3. This is our second witness on the book. Malachi chapter 3, verse 16 down to verse 18. Our second witness of the book. Then they that feared Yahweh spake often one to another, and Yahweh hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared Yahweh and thought upon his name. A book of what? Of remembrance. Why do I say it's the book of life? Because isn't the book of life also a book of remembrance? What are we remembering? You're remembering who the people are. You're remembering what their works are, which are all righteous, perfect righteousness. And you're remembering them in the kingdom. Right? Book of remembrance is written for them that feared Yahweh and that thought upon his name. And we speak, notice he said, they that fear Yahweh spake often one to another. What is that? That's love of the brethren. Like Moses, that's love of the brethren. What are we speaking to each other about? To encourage each other in the truth, to encourage each other in the faith of the Messiah, to encourage each other in the word, to encourage each other with the promises of the kingdom. That's, we spake often one to another. Verse 17, and they shall be mine, saith Yahweh of hosts. In that day when I make up my jewels, I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. Then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth Yahweh and him that serveth him not. See, the record will state those that belong to Yah are in his book, and those that don't are not in his book. Okay, so you have people in the book, people not in the book. Daniel chapter 7. Daniel chapter 7. Okay, Daniel 7. Going to begin at verse 9. Daniel chapter 7. That's right. The judge of all the earth has a book. Exactly. Daniel chapter 9, beginning at, Daniel chapter 7, Daniel chapter 7, beginning at verse 9 and going down to verse 14. Judgment scene again. Daniel chapter 7 from verse 9 to verse 14. And I want you to notice the book. It's not said book though. It doesn't say book here, but it's here. Okay. All right. Daniel chapter 7 from verse 9 to verse 14. I beheld till the throne were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. So the Father is the Ancient of Days. He got woolly hair. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. And the fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. And the judgment was set, and the books, plural, were opened. And I beheld then, because the voice of the great words which the horn spake, I beheld even till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame. The beast goes into where? The lake of fire. I beheld till the beast was slain and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame. The beast goes where with the false prophet? In the lake of fire. Based on what's in their books. But wait a minute. As concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season at a time. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom. And all people, nations, and languages, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. So when he gave him a kingdom, and it included people, of course, a kingdom has land, dominion, glory, kingdom, people, nations. So, powerful thing about this, brother. First of all, we're going to read it again in Revelation chapter 5. But the second thing about it is that the book is sealed. Y'all know that, right? So the book of life is sealed with 7 seals. And it has the names of the people in it. The names written in there. See, Moses said, take my name out your book. He has names written in there that belong to the Father, that belong to the kingdom, that belong to the Messiah, but it's sealed with 7 seals. What does that tell you? The Father is giving the Messiah a book that is sealed with 7 seals. He don't know what's in there. He don't know who's in there. That is, the Messiah doesn't. But the Father knows who's in there. So the Father has given Messiah a book, which we have witnessed in the book of Revelation. He is unsealing. Okay. And when he finishes unsealing it, the 7th seal is open and he can read all the names of the people. Father knows who the people are already. What do we call that? What does the Bible call that? You are predestined. Father already knows from before the earth was founded, you would be his. And he has you written in a book. And he's given this book to his son. And his son is the only one worthy to open the book. That's right. So the names that are written in there have been in there from the foundation of the earth. So now, this is the thing. We know he's calling us, and we know we must be faithful unto the end. But if we know that if he's calling us, he has chosen us from before the earth was founded and has our names written in a sealed book. Praise the Most High. Revelation chapter 5. Revelation chapter 5. Same thing we just read, but it's now giving you the book, right? So here, Revelation chapter 5, beginning at verse 1, Revelation chapter 5, from verse 1 down to verse 5. And I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within and on the backside, sealed with 7 seals. And I saw a strong angel proclaim with a loud voice, who is worthy to open the book and to loose the seals thereof? And no man in heaven, nor in earth, neither under the earth, was able to open the book, neither to look thereon. And I wept much, because no man was found worthy to open the book and to read the book, neither to look thereon. And one of the elders said unto me, weep not. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof. So, brethren, that is why when we studied the 7 seals, if you recall, I told you that at the time, the 7 churches go along with the 7 seals. Now you can see it a little clearer, because what are you seeing? With each seal in each time period, there's saved people that have been called before the foundation of the earth. See, so we are in the 6th one. So we have been called before the foundation of the earth. And then there's going to be those in the 7th one. And we said when we studied the 7th one, there are going to be a lot of martyrs coming at that last hour. Okay. And their names have been written in that book from before the foundation of the earth. And so each time he opens a seal, there's a church that goes with it. Ephesus with the first one, right? What is it? Smyrna, Pergamos, Thyatira, Sardis, right? Of course, Philadelphia, then Laodicea. So there's a group of people in each era where the angel brings a message that's going to be saved. And they're written in the book. Does that make sense, y'all? And then there's groups of people in each era that are going to be lost. 7 trumpets. That makes sense? So you got 7 churches, 7 seals, 7 trumpets. There's people saved in each era. The book tells you who they are, and the trumpets tells you who's being warned to be destroyed. Isn't it so neatly put together? I just amaze me every time I read the book of Revelation and I read the Bible, how it's put together in such a deep and amazing way with such simplicity. Really, when you get down to it, it becomes very simple, you know, not complicated, but praise the Most High. So the book that was given to Messiah that's representing the kingdom is the book of life. And all the dead are judged in the 2 books. The book that they have, that everything that they already did, everything is written. We have one of those too, but ours is matched with the book of life. And that's going to take us back to Revelation chapter 20. So we have what? We had Malachi, we had Moses, we had Daniel as witnesses, right? And then now we have John as witness. So we have several witnesses of this book. Now, Revelation chapter 20, let's go down to the judgment scene. Revelation chapter 20, that's right, Malachi, that's right. Let's go back down to the judgment scene, Revelation chapter 20. And I'm going to begin at verse 10 and go down to verse 15. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are. Remember, it was the beast, the great word the beast spoke, end up in the burning flame. There it is. And shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before Yahweh, and the books were opened. And another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which are written in the books according to their works. Everybody is judged according to their works. The difference between us and them is we are repentant. And the Father covers us with the perfection of his righteousness. And that righteousness causes us to perform works meet for the kingdom. Praise the Most High. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it. And death and hell gave up the death and hell is the grave, delivered up the dead which were in them. And they were judged every man according to their works. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. So the second death comes in the second resurrection, is when you go into the lake of fire. For whatsoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. So death itself will die, which means there'll be no more death. There'll be no more hell. There'll be no more devil. There'll be no more rebellion, no more idolatry, no more false gods, no more man-made religion, no more rebellion against the Father. It will not exist anymore. Praise the Most High. Praise the Most High. No more sin. Done. Only thing that's alive is what's written in the book of life. And there's no sin there. There's no sin there. Praise the Most High. There's no sin there. Woo! Praise the Most High. So tomorrow we'll continue in chapter 21 of Revelation. And as you can see, we're getting real rich down here, man. We get to the end. Rich. Praise the Most High. May the Most High bless you and keep you. May he cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. And may he lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Shalom.